So I think I would say the biggest thing, and this is kind of my theme for today, is like look at your life, figure out what's preventing you from being happy, because I can tell you it's not the next job.
Welcome to Get Scene Unscripted. I'm your host, Jesse Malinowski. We are going to dive into acting insights, meet industry pros, and master the business. Don't forget to subscribe and share. We're keeping you behind the scenes and ahead of the game. Welcome to Get Scene Unscripted, everyone. I'm your host, Jesse Malinowski, and we got another recurring actor. How many shows are you recurring in? And now you're going to be recurring on Get Scene Unscripted. It is a phenomenal 100 credit plus actor, Tony DeMil, back here. What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Dude, I'm excited to have you back.
How long have we known each other?
I mean, bro, when we were kind of like getting prepped coming up here, and you were like talking about classes and stuff like that, and talking about like Phil and Hakeem and the people, I was like, yo, that goes back, dude. It goes back to 2010,
probably, right?
I was gonna say maybe like 2008.
Oh wow.
2008,
9,
10,
2009
like
is when I got back from LA, so probably right about that's when I met Hakeem at Meisner Size.
Oh, okay.
So that's 2009.
So that was in 2009?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I wasn't back in classes yet.
Bro, 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
So that's like 15-ish years.
Yeah, 15, 16 years, yeah.
Bro, we go way back. Dude.
It's really cool to see the parallel journeys and stuff like that,
Yeah. Well, how do you have 100 credits? I have 40-something.
I mean, honestly, if we're being honest, I have like 130.
Bro.
But I mean, I had 30 credits before I booked my first... Before I booked, what was that show called?
Bloodline.
No, there was one before that.
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice.
Yes.
That was like 2012. I'd been working since 2000.
Bro.
It was just all independent films and like whatever you could get,
Yeah. Well, dude, when I think about all of those credits, and if we like go back, I don't want to say like back to the beginning, right? But like kind of back to like a time where you weren't booking as regularly, like, is there like a story or a time that you could think of that you were like feeling a little bit stuck? You were feeling like, because I feel like there's so many listeners out there, right?
Yeah.
That, maybe are there. Like we're talking about going back to like the classes we were in together and stuff. But I mean, was there a time that you can think of, like a specific moment or something?
I can. And this is actually a great story. And there's a couple tie-ins here. Basically in about 2007, Orlando's a huge commercial market, right? So, and there's films, but it's like independent films, and none were paid back then. Like paid independent films, like y'all are lucky now. Nothing was paid.
Dude, I've been telling everyone that. I'm like, y'all are
student
so
films
lucky.
are paid now.
Dude, we were paying like.
I almost went to. There was a student film the other day. It was like one day, and it was like shooting in Tybee Island. It's paid travel, paid gas. I was just like, free vacation.
Yeah,
like so. I had a bunch of crime recreation shows and commercials and stuff like that. But a lot, what was the final straw? Is there's a actor in Orlando who books all the time commercially. So we went in for the same job one time, and I did something very specific in the comedic. It was a comedic commercial. I did something very specific, and I saw the commercial, and he had booked it. No offense, whatever. I don't care. He's a good dude, and he did the thing that I had done in my audition. I was like, I know they got that from me. It was just so specific. And I was like, I'm out of here. I don't book commercially. I'm not a commercial actor. I'm out of here. So me and my friend went to LA. I didn't know anything about the business. And I just knew I loved acting, right? Studied Meisner. Went out there. Basically got to a point where I knew I wanted to leave after 3 months. And then after 6 months, I talked to my Lauren, my acting teacher, and she was just like, just stay a year because you're going to have to answer this question for the rest of your life. But basically when I got back to Orlando is when I started getting real theatrical auditions, So Burn Notice and like a bunch of shows were popping up in Orlando at the time. So you're like, well, wasn't working in Orlando. It didn't work in LA. And now it's starting to work. But after about 3 years... there were two people. I guess what I'm saying is the whole idea of like, I'm going to go to LA and things are going to be amazing. They weren't amazing. I got out there and after 3 months, I was like, it's exactly the same, except now I don't have an agent. Now I don't have any connections. Now I don't know where to go, what to do.
And you're paying quadruple in rent.
Yeah. And I'm working 2 jobs that I don't really like that much. You know what I'm saying? So came back to Orlando. And then after about 3 years, after acting class, my friend Phil Armijo and it was somebody else. And they were like, man, I'm getting this audition for like, why are you not reading for this? I was like, I don't know what to do. Cut to, I was hanging out with this really beautiful woman who's a sister of one of my good friends. You know who you are. And we were having a nice time. And I was like, man, I have a full-time job at Universal, which is 4 days a week, by the way, getting paid to go run around and be silly. I have a brand new motorcycle. And because I had booked Bloodline at the time. No. I don't know why. Anyway, I had money. I maybe just saving or whatever. And I was like, I had my own apartment too, which was like a 3rd floor, vaulted ceilings. I felt awesome. And I was like, why am I not happy? And ironically, this woman was studying to be a psychologist, a therapist. And she just talked to me and adrenaline dump. But I was just like, cool, well, who do I know who has what I want? I swear to God, Jesse. And I said, Jesse and Hakeem just went down and did a casting director workshop with Lori Wyman. I'm just like, why have I not done that yet? And I went and did it. And then the next thing you know, I was like, the first audition I did after my workshop was like, I wasn't great in the workshop, but Lori Wyman knew I was taking classes and knew Lauren respected me and knew I was doing good work and knew I could take direction. So day 1 wasn't great, but by day 2, I was kind of like, plus I got a lot of FaceTime. So then I booked the next under 5 on Burn Notice and it just kind of like, and then I booked a huge role on Bloodline.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like, So I think I would say the biggest thing, and this is kind of my theme for today, is like, look at your life, figure out what's preventing you from being happy. Because I can tell you it's not the next job. It's not being famous, because most people who are famous are like, this is the annoying part about it. And eventually you're going to get to like me where you're like, there's not a lot of characters that I want to play that I haven't played on set. One of the funnest jobs I've ever done was a modified low budget. Just recently, it was like in February, the director was like, you're setting the bar for performances on this set. It was a bunch of LA people. It was people from all over. So you could say whatever you wanted them to take. And I'm just like, ironically, we're all trying to get to like this level. Meanwhile, I'm doing a modified and this is one of the funnest jobs I've ever booked. So guess what I'm trying to say is like happiness needs to be right now. So I'm like really going through my life right now and being like, what needs to change because I feel restless right now. And for 10 years in Atlanta, I was like, dude, there's paddleboarding, there's mountains, there's the river, there's the like.
You're so good at that, bro.
Thank you.
You're so good
Thanks.
at being like, there's these fun activities. Like, let's do it.
Sure.
Dude.
And I think part of it is like, your friends get married and move a little out of town and your agents get married. Everybody I know is getting married and kind of moving out of town a little bit. And it's been 10 years, 15 years. So it's like, we're not going out 4 times a week anymore. So I think that's part of it too. But I also think I'm at this phase in my career where I'm like, this has become a really fun part-time job that I've learned how to live off the amount that it pays you. Cause I'm very simple. I'm not materialistic. I'm not buying a $30,000 Harley. I'm buying a $1,500 Suzuki that I know runs well cause I've done my research. You can have everything you want. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't think just because you have a $30,000 Harley, you're happier.
No.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, yeah, I love you talking about like the happiness is now. Like you have to find it in the now.
You know who's really good at that? And I was thinking about her on the way here. Lauren Buglioli. Ever since I met her, I'm like, how is this person so happy? She's happy all the time. She lived like she had already made it before she had made it.
Lauren is the best.
And I don't know what her life and her career was like in LA, but I got the impression, this is just my impression, that she hadn't booked a lot.
No, she actually, she worked as a kid and then she took a break. She just stopped. She like completely took a break and then came back to Atlanta and was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go after this.
And she's the perfect example for what I'm about to say. I'm sure she was feeling frustrated in her career. I'm sure when she left LA, she's like, I'm sure she had moments of, what am I doing here in Atlanta? I'm sure she did. Cut to the pandemic happened. She booked 2 leads and 2 roles that if the pandemic was happening, they might not have filmed them here because they're non-union.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden it went 1, 2, and then the next one after that was like, I'm sure the 2 leads that she booked she crushed it, by the way. I went and watched them. I was like, and I'm sure someone saw it. I was like, yeah, she's good. And the next one was 7. And the next one was like, so to me, it's like a mixture of like, she took a leap of faith by being like, I think Atlanta might be a better move. Cut to boom, boom, boom. And the universe was the other. There's only so much you can do.
Dude, do you know what she did too? I don't know if a lot of people know this story.
Yeah.
So she like did her research, right? She did her research and knew that she wanted to like do something with Get Scene and like work at Get Scene or volunteer or something, right? She found out where Get Scene was and she literally got the apartment across the street from back when we had our big space.
Yeah.
And she like literally lived across the street. And was like,
and we all met her as soon as we met her. Like, this is one of the coolest people I've ever. Like, she's so beautiful and so genuine and warm.
The best when it comes to networking. I've never met anyone that networks like her.
Interesting, yeah.
She's incredible.
That's amazing.
I mean, if you think about it, like she literally got the place across the street from Get Scene. She could be at Get Scene in a moment's time.
Yeah.
All their agents and casting directors are at Get Scene all the time, right? You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know the way she thinks, and then her.
I thought blondes are supposed to be dumb. What's up with that? She's like the smartest person I know. Yeah. Candy too.
Oh,
I think Candy's. She plays okay. I think she may be 30% smarter than I am. Because I talked to her, I'm like, I didn't even think about that.
She likes to be real smart. She likes to be real smart.
But she's low key about it.
Yeah. She is. Yeah, she's turned on by the brain for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you feel like she's smarter than you are?
I have to say yes, right? Do I feel like no?
In different ways, probably.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I mean, it depends what we're talking about, but like a million %. Like especially when it's like doctor shit. Yo, she literally. It's so annoying, everyone. Like I literally will have her sit in on like a doctor's appointment, and then she'll ask the doctor questions, and like literally the doctor is like, "Wow, lucky you got her. She really knows what she's talking about." And I'm like, don't build her up.
I don't need that because I'm going to have to win some arguments sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fun. That's fun. But yeah, so yeah, when it comes to like health stuff, she's like really, really fucking brilliant.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about her, she puts a lot of forethought into things.
Yeah.
Where if I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and this, she's like, okay, cool. Well, did you think about this and you think about that and you think about that? And she thinks about all the angles.
She does.
Yeah.
Her and I have had like trouble, like I feel like with our relationship with that. Because I'll like have an idea, right? And she's so good at that. And so I feel like she's like bursting my
Shitting
bubble.
on you.
Yeah, right. But she's not, right? It's taken time for me to like learn that. It's like that's just how she is. She's just wired that way. Like she's like, so now
she feels like she's being helpful.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, hey, look, I'll bring you the idea. So now I use it as like a superpower. Now I'm like, I have this idea. Tell me everything that's wrong with it. But I'm like,
and maybe you don't approach it until you're not so sensitive about it.
Exactly. I'm like, don't tell me until I'm ready.
You talk to the guys about it first, and you're like, oh, and they're like, yeah, bro, yeah,
correct. And now I'm like, all right, Candace, what's wrong with this idea?
Yeah, will this work?
Yes, yeah.
When you're coming down from the adrenaline rush.
Yep. No, you're 100% right. She's really good at like seeing those things.
Interestingly, it's interesting that you brought up the old space because you had that same, I feel like you had that same, and I don't mean I'm quitting acting. What I mean is I'm like, prove to me in what way that I have not made it yet. I own my own home. I have a paid off Tesla, which was the dream during the pandemic. When I lost a lot of fucking money in the stock market, but when it was ready to go up.
Bro, the Tesla's the best.
When it was ready to go up, my bro was like, are you going to buy a Tesla? And it was like 46 grand. I was like, I'm not buying it. And now I own one. I live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath by myself. Like, I don't really need a roommate. I got money in the bank and I have no bills. I'm like, how have we not made it? Like, how? I've made it.
It's all about like the way you look at things.
100%. Yeah. And so that's why now when I'm like, sent to producers for a 3-line role for a Christmas movie that George Pierre is casting. I'm like, it's better than substitute teaching. It's better than working liquor promos. That's $1,200, man, plus residuals, plus $17 residuals in 5 years from now. But you know what I mean? When you think about it, like, and of course we want to do more than just the 3 lines, but if you think about it like, hey, this is like, sometimes it's going to be like a $400 a day, and sometimes it's going to be a $5,000 a week.
Right.
And sometimes it's going to be a $10,000 a day, and they're going to fly you up first class, and you're going to be staying in a $5 million Chicago apartment.
Bro, what was your biggest residual check? You joked about $17 in 5 years, but what was your biggest residual check?
Do you want me to say a number?
Yeah.
Okay. I just made January to June. I thought about killing myself this year because I was so depressed. From January to June, look, I would never do it, but the thought entered my mind like, oh, I get it now. Because financially, 2024 was such a good year, but not creatively satisfying. SWAT was good. But the other 2 jobs I did, I was just like this. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, oh, is this how it's just going to be for the rest of my life? Like I make a bunch of money and then the next year there's no auditions and I'm still having to freak out all the time, freaking out. I wanted to say that just because I know that some people out there are thinking about it, and it's just like, hey, dude, like that's the point when you have to start sitting down and start rewiring, like what is going on? What do I need? I think a lot of us are addicted to the high of booking jobs, dating the next person, getting drunk, smoking weed, whatever. I think that's something to look at. I was talking to a dude in jiu-jitsu today, and he's just like, we've stopped going for the heavy adrenaline dump of like, let's go as hard as we can. And we just do 7 rolls, about 30%. I think a lot of actors are looking for that, for whatever thing is not healed. That spike of like, I booked this job and now everything's fine. It's not fine. It's a great win. It's like a contract that you book if you lay concrete. That $10,000 contract isn't lasting forever. But maybe if you do a 200 over here and then you do some liquor promos and like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I say that to just like, hey, even those of us who you look at and you're like, but Tony's killing it. You're like, I mean, what? It feels like that way 30% of the time, you know?
There's ebbs and flows. I mean, and you're talking about mindset ultimately. And like, you know, that's, I bring this up a lot. It's like, you know, if you don't have the mindset right, you know, it's not gonna work out, because you cannot keep booking. And even if you do keep booking, you'll find something else that's not good about it.
Why did Matthew Perry kill himself with, no disrespect, he basically killed himself with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. And
had addiction problems. I think we need to get down to what are we looking for? And that's what I'm trying to say is like, stop looking at acting at this thing where if I were where Lauren Buglioli was or Ariel Prepetit is, then no, she still wakes up some days and just like, oh man, I partied too hard. I have that big scene today. My stomach's kind of upset. You know, you work with these big actors. It's not like we're zipping around set because we're so excited to be there. But the leads are just like, yeah, it's another day of doing something that I really like doing, which you can also do with your friend, helping them with their demo reel. You can do it in acting class. You can find that joy in a dance class. You can find that joy in a lot of different ways. I think it's very dangerous to put all of your eggs in acting.
100% it is. I mean, you can't.
Even if you want to, like, good luck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
You're not going to last.
Yeah,
you're not going to last because it's not going to fulfill you. Like, I mean, really, you know, when you went back to the very first story in the beginning of the show, when you talked about, you had looked at me and Hakeem and you were like, oh, I need to go like do this class. And then it kind of helped kind of get going. Like at the end of the day, it's progress, right? Like when you progress as a person, that feels good.
Exactly. So on the days when you feel like, I was just talking to a therapist about this the other day. He's just like, on the day, go search jobs for 5 minutes on Actors Access. You will feel better about your career. Go on Casting Networks for 10 minutes. You'll feel better about your career. Sign up for a class. Take a class. 50% of Atlanta are actors who need to be desperately in classes and are not. They come to Get Scene once or twice a year, get in front of George Pierre. I think I talked about this last time. Deliver the exact same performance that they did last time they were in front of him, thinking somehow it's going to be different this time. Meanwhile, 50% of their peers are in classes working hard. because that's where the joy is, the daily progress. And jiu-jitsu, the last 3 times I went, I almost quit in the same way, right? You go to jiu-jitsu and you're like, I'm good at everything else. Why am I not good at this? The last 4 months have been torture. I hit up my coach the other day. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm terrible. I have to go to some other class. He's like, nonsense, because he can see my progression. I can't. So something happened about 3 classes ago where I just started relaxing and enjoying the process. And now I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go again. Because like, F it, like as good as I ever get as an actor, there'll be people 15 times more successful than me who are 40% worse than I am. And then also, there are people like Eddie Redmayne, and there's people who are just geniuses, and you're just never going to be in their category, no matter what. No matter what. So, like, it can't be about being the best, successful, most popular, most loved. It has to be about, I did a commercial audition last night. They're looking for like a Mexican-American, but I speak fluent Spanish, so I'm sure they're like, hey, let's throw his hat in the ring. And I'm just get in front of a casting director. I finished the audition. I was like, wow, I did a really good job. And that was the joy of it for me. I know I'm not booking it. The guy that they...
Bro, hold on. How did you get to that? Because I know that has got to be a journey for you. Like, you're not every audition. Like, rewind 10 years earlier, you're not getting done with an audition being like, I really did a good job with that. Are you? You like, I feel like
Well, first of all, it was a commercial audition. I did a theatrical audition about a week ago where I'm like, I just let go of it like 2 days ago. Theatrical is more personal for me. But the win with the commercial one was like, oh, I don't consider myself a commercial actor. So the fact that it was good, it was in Spanish. It was like, I was like, well, I don't think I'll book this role because the person that they put in the storyboard looks nothing like me and about 10 years younger than me. But that is a great question. I need to start working on that with I will say this, on Saturday, I had an audition for High Potential. And it was the first time in a while that I got an audition. It was like, oh, this is like a fun one. And there were like 3 separate parts. And I filmed one like a YouTube video. And one was like, I got super creative. And then the third one was like, I can't give the plot away, but there was a really fun aspect to the scene. And I walked away, I was like, God, that's what it feels like to just have fun again.
Bro, you got to have more fun in your auditions. Yo, I did an audition the other day, and so they wanted it was like a podcast host, and they wanted you to improvise like you're interviewing someone.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I have the studio. I'm going to like...
Can we just send you a clip from my show?
No, but I did one better.
Yeah.
I put Maverick in the chair, and I interviewed the dog. And I cut to him and stuff. Bro, I don't know how I didn't book it. How could I have not booked it? I had so much fun.
You booked, they noticed you.
Dude, 100%
which is that's the thing. I just auditioned for there's a casting director in New York. I got to audition for 2 different roles. They're both really cool. One was like a Tim Robbins show. And so one was like it was like a Brazilian bad guy. And I think it took me about 2 days after my audition to be like, oh, I think they just wanted my normal bad guy. I was focused too much on the Brazilian part. Either way, doesn't matter. I was like, you know what? Let's just do this over Zoom so I can get in front of him. And even if I don't book it, it's still a win. Because they can be like, this dude's not nervous. He's fluent in Portuguese. He literally takes notes and does it in the next take exactly what we want. You're like, I booked it even if I don't book it. You know what I mean? Don't look that, please, buddy.
Yeah, I mean...
So to me, it's like, yeah, but they're going to notice you, and that's a win. And also, you had fun, and that's why we started doing this in the first place. And then all of a sudden, we're like, no, I have to be good now. What's good mean? What does good mean? What does even mean to be good? I don't know.
You're so right, bro. You do it for fun, and then it turns into, we got to be good. Wow, that's such a great quote.
What a terrible thing to let happen to the thing that we love the most. You know what I mean? We need to go back and find that joy again. So cut to, I was at the end of my rope in June. There were like no auditions this year. Maybe one a month that I gave enough about that wasn't like something that I just scrounged or Jake and Corey just got me because, maybe 4 auditions. And the week of my birthday, we got from Outer Banks $25,000. But also, here's the other part of the story.
I can't believe how long it took Tony to answer that question.
This is what we do, man. We're storytellers. But there's a lot of other gyms in there. But here's another gym about it. So, you know, it's $25,000 when it's on paper. By the time it got to me, it's $12,000.
Right.
So if you think like, I'm going to do a Marvel movie and I'm never going to have to work again, you're like, that can't be the goal. It has to be like, I love acting and I love playing fun roles. How do I get to do that more? And hopefully most of the time and spend little, a lot of actors too don't know how to manage money.
Oh, no. 100%.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Buy the $1,500 motorcycle that your friend knows how to learn how to work on bikes. Like one time when I was dating a woman, I was like, hey, listen, when you come in town, let's see how much fun we can have and how little money we can spend. Because I was kind of hurting for, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the other lesson to me is like that money ain't going to last forever.
It's definitely not. I mean, dude, you talk about the financial stuff with actors. I mean, when I'm coaching them and actually, here you go. This is good. Do you remember? I feel like we went through a time where we were just all trying to like quit our normal day job. And I saw it time and time again of in our friend group, right? Like, yay, I finally booked a big enough job. I can quit the day job. And I just saw it time and time again of like, that money runs out fast. You always want to have some sort of job where it's bringing in money that will help you, because like you're never mad at more money, right? You're never mad at having extra funds, you know? So it's like, even if you get a really good job that pays well, like still have something else that's bringing in money.
The best thing about the strike was like, basically thank to you so much. Like you gave me a job as a teacher when I was like not ready to teach. And basically, you know, I learned how to teach on the OJT, baby. So I really appreciate that, man. And because of that, I was able to not have a full-time job for like, not work at all, basically, until the strike.
Yeah.
You know, but I can also tell you like, okay, it's all right. It wasn't like I was like zinging because I'm so happy. I still had to figure out how to be happy. All my friends were working, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like you go to work and people are like, oh, I'm doing it. It's not like everyone I knew was full-time actors, so we could all just jet to Colorado for, you know what I'm saying?
Did you do a TP show during oh no, that was pandemic.
Pandemic,
That was
yeah.
pandemic.
No, yeah.
Strikes,
Pandemic is great because of,
yeah.
bro, unemployment.
Yeah, unemployment, and then you got the TP show, so you were like on, Camp Tyler Perry.
Yeah, I was on camp. Let's see how much money we can make in AMC.
Yeah.
And then lose it all in the stock market. All of it.
Oh my gosh, that's
Dude,
right.
painful. And you sent me a text, Tony, sell. And I was like, a couple people told me, I was just like, I just, you know.
Do you have money in the stock market right now?
No.
You should.
I mean, look, I have a...
You got to just put it in there and leave it in there.
Yeah.
It's like a different piggy bank.
Sure.
It's like what?
I might do some investing, like the index funds eventually or something.
Yeah.
Because things are starting to get good financially right now. But the best thing about the strike was that I was just like, in February, it was funny because I had just broken up with her. And I was like, I'm just freaking out. I don't know what to do about money. And she was like, I don't have time to like deal with you right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making fun of her. I'm saying how she responded. I had just broken up with her. And to her credit, like 4 days later, she hit me up. She's like, you can do this, 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 you can do this. And to my credit, I had already figured it out by then. But the best thing that came from the strike was like, I still do like, I make $30 an hour doing liquor promos. And I leave with like 3 almost full bottle of liquor I don't drink. So I can, every time I go to a Halloween party, I'm like, here you go. You know what I mean? Here's a $70 bottle of tequila. So I love having that extra money come in. And the more you're not freaking out about money, the more things come to you.
Yes.
So I'm a huge fan of the side job. And also like, I like to be productive. On a Friday, especially when I'm going out that night, I'd way rather go make $90 doing nothing. And then when I go out, if I spend 50, I'm like, I'm still up and I did something and I wasn't spinning out on anxiety for 4 hours while I was working. You feel productive.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan. Even if you have the money, go do something. Go be productive.
Hey, if you're wanting to improve your auditions, pay attention. First off, thanks so much for being a part of the show. And so I want to give you a gift. Our Improve Your Audition Bootcamp is coming up. It starts on November 17th. It's 5 workshops over the span of 6 days. We're bringing in 4 casting directors and 4 of our Get Scene working actor mentors. This is going to be an incredible week for you to really be able to improve those auditions. I want to tell you exactly how it works. Each and every workshop will be focused on specific ways for you to improve those auditions, giving you audition hacks or specific questions you should ask or answer within the scene. And then we're going to be looking at auditions each night as well. So it's a wonderful format and formula to give you something specific to be able to implement into your process to make your auditions better. It's a great way for you to go from like a good audition to a great audition, or a, pretty darn good audition to a bookable audition. And so this is a really fantastic boot camp that's only $37. It's starting on November 17th. We already have Erica Bream from Bream Doyle Casting, Kimberly Wisted from Fincannon and Associates, Chase Paris from Feldstein Paris confirmed to be guests at this event, along with Tatiana Zappardino from Tulsa King, Judd Lorman from SEAL Team. I mean, the lineup is just absolutely phenomenal. And so I want to give you the gift that if you're listening to this show, I just want to say thank you so much. And if you're a fan of what we do here at Get Scene, you can join us at the boot camp. It's only $37. It starts November 17th. But my gift to you is, if you would like to get this boot camp for free, and you're somebody that already signs up for our different workshops and things, or maybe you want to try one for the first time, if you purchase one of our workshops and then add in the boot camp and use promo code FREEBOOTCAMP, the boot camp will be my gift to you. So again, all you have to do is choose any workshop, and that's something that you would probably already be doing to add to you being an actor, and add to your homework, and add to you and the relationships that you're building within your actor journey, whether it be getting in front of an agent or a casting director. And when you purchase one of those workshops, add in the boot camp and use the promo code FREEBOOTCAMP, and then I'm going to take care of the boot camp for you, okay? And then you will be our guest. So I hope to see you there. So you have 2 options right now. Choose which one is best for you. $37 for the boot camp, or go sign up for a workshop. Get in front of one of these industry pros and really learn from them and know what you need to do to move forward, and then come join us at the boot camp. So it's going to start November 17th. It's that entire week. It's going to be incredible. I cannot wait to see you there. And thanks again for listening and being part of the show, and enjoy. What are you doing? We kind of talked about, being happy now, find the happiness in where you're at right now. What are you doing right now to like find the happiness? And
Great question. So for a long time, we talked about this before. I would have friends that was just like, oh, we're not getting auditions right now. I was like, who cares? Let's go snowboarding. Let's go paddleboarding. There's so much free stuff to do, or low, inexpensive stuff to do around Atlanta. Hikes. There's the Shoot the Hooch. You can get a paddleboard for $80 on Amazon, and it's like there's so many lakes and rivers around here. The Beltline, Piedmont Park. Atlanta has lost its luster and its shine for me a little bit, so I'm having to reinvent myself now. I'm thinking about getting like an inexpensive place in Florida, so I can still have my place here and still have that place, maybe like rent out the top floor or something, and just have, you know what I'm saying?
where in Florida?
Cocoa.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because I need to be by the beach.
Oh yeah.
And I miss my family, I miss my friends. It's too many Thanksgivings of like, not being able to go down because traffic. You either have to leave Monday or the day of. Last year, I basically missed Thanksgiving because,
Oh really?
yeah, and it was, the Tesla, you got to stop every hour to charge it. And it's like added an extra 2 hours. And it was just like, but yeah, I mean, I'm really starting to like slow down a little bit and like realize what are the things that actually bring me at this stage of my life, like happiness, which is acting, teaching acting, and just being calm, having things be settled and calm.
I mean, I
You
feel.
know?
What about? I mean, I feel like you're always doing it. I mean, when you talk about like being near the beach, I'm like, oh, because you like want to surf and stuff
Yeah,
like that. I mean, like
totally.
you're always like doing like good, fun physical activities. I feel like.
Well, that's the best if you're the things that bring you joy cannot be like getting hammered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is ultimately leads to like, there's a come down. What goes up must come down. So that's part of the reason is because like I used to windsurf here for a long time, but I'm kind of over it. And like the months that it's good for windsurfing, it's cold. So it's like, eh. So I think I might just get like a little mobile home down. There's like places for 50 grand where I could just buy it and go
Really?
be like, hey, cats, hop in the car. Where it's been hard to travel the last 4 months because I've been socializing a feral cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now I have 2 cats and it's kind of hard to tell a pet sitter like, hey, you can kind of let them out, but also you kind of need to be there at night to let them in to like, but he's at the point now where he could stay inside for 3 days. So I just want to go to the beach. I want to surf. I'm also really connected to the water. I think it's important to have something where you do, and when you finish the thing, you're like, I'm happy right now. Because if you it's like putting all your eggs in like, oh, when my wife gets home, we're just going to have a fun, and then she gets home and she's in a bad mood, or he gets in a bad mood, or your partner's in a bad mood, or they have to go out of town for 2 weeks. You're like, are you just not going to be happy if you, so I'm really at a point where I'm like at a midlife crisis. I know I don't look it, but I'm about to be 50 in June. I play like 35 to 51, let's say. And, I'm just at a phase now. Like I said, all my friends are getting married, moving out of town. The invites don't come in as often. So I'm alone a lot. So, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but I'm definitely having to like, hey, what makes Tony happy?
Yeah.
If no one else is there, because that's when things come to you, is when you're living in your own joy, I feel like.
Dude, it's such a good point that you bring up when you're just like, what makes Tony happy, and it's not more auditions. It's not more bookings.
Yeah, I got an audition today and I'm leaving out of town for the beach tomorrow and I'm kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, but I mean, I think that's like such a good lesson because I think so often we connect happiness to like, well, when I get the agent or when I get the auditions or when I get the bookings, it's attached to something within the business. And it's like, you've accomplished so much, you've done so many different things. And, you're like, yeah, it's like, being near the beach, it's
feeling calm.
Yeah.
Feeling like a calm inner joy is what I'm going for now. And that's what I feel at jiu-jitsu now. And I was talking to my friend Adam and we were talking about the adrenaline and then dump spikes that we used to crave when we were younger versus like, it's kind of fun just to come in and we'll do like 5 rolls and we're not going super crazy, but we're learning a lot more and we feel our show's getting better and we leave and my neck doesn't hurt because I got slammed by some 25-year-old who I'll never be as good as. You could be terrible at jiu-jitsu at 25 and beat me because it's just like, you're 25.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also, here's the thing. We're getting older and like, we're not as handsome as some 25-year-old fresh-faced kid. I'm just saying.
Screw that kid.
We're handsome and we're beautiful in different ways. I'm just saying that the clock is ticking, so we can't go back in time. So how do we find the joy now? That's what I've really been focusing on. What does joy look like right now when all your friends are busy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and even I think being with friends and connection, all that stuff I think is really great. And it does help like the psyche and your energy and all that. But ultimately, the only person that's going to make you happy is you. I can't make you happy ultimately, even if I invite you over every single day. You know what I mean?
These are great temporary fixes and it's great. Look, jiu-jitsu's fun, but the underlying thing has to be like, I feel pretty good. I feel calm,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of going for now. Like, I'm in this huge life assessment of like, what does a happy life look like to me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm going to book more. We're both going to book more. One day we're probably going to book some huge job, and anybody in town can talk to the 15 people who've booked series regulars here. And I know a good friend of mine booked a series regular, booked 10 episodes. It was like his 3rd booking. booked 10 episodes. Then he booked a series regular, 3 seasons on that. Then he booked another show. It didn't go. They didn't really promote it that much. They kind of gave up on it, in my opinion. Moved to LA, has an amazing wife. He moved back here, and he was just like, he hasn't worked for 2 years. Thankfully, he's smart and he has enough money, but he's like, okay, well, that thing still isn't there for him. So what does joy look like for him?
Yep.
And I think that's one thing that every actor needs to look inside and be like, when are the moments that I feel the most joy in life? To me, one is when I'm doing Meisner exercise. I do Meisner, I'm like, oh my God, I miss this so much.
Really?
I love it. Yeah, I love it. And not in some nerdy way, like I'm good. Just the doing of it is fun. The doing of a really good audition where you're like kind of loose and kind of interviewing your dog, right? You're like, this is like, I feel so creative, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The things that are in the doing of it, we feel joy. I think we need to focus on those. And ironically, I think that's when things come to you.
Yeah. I
hope.
Yeah.
Because I'm letting go, because a lot of joy has been lost in this career for me of just the temporary, like, I booked the thing. You're like, okay, well, I booked 2 months on a job before, so this is only 1 month. So it's, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's just this has come up on the show before. We've talked about it. It's like the booking is not the answer. There's so many other things that you have to get right. And well, when I say get right, I mean just like figure out for yourself. There's not a right or wrong part of me for that, but it's just like that the happiness is the progression is what you choose to look at.
Yeah. Jason Lockhart, it was one of the first classes, I think the second class when we changed over the pandemic, when we went to a 3-day workshop. Jason Lockhart, I'll never forget this because I had just figured it out 2 weeks before because I felt like quitting. Not quitting, but you're like, oh, should I quit? Like as if we could ever quit. You can't quit. You're still going to be an actor. You're just not going to be acting.
We're addicted.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And he was like, you got to find your why. And it's not just in acting, it's in everything. What's fun about going to the grocery store? Oh, it'd be fun. What if I thought about, you have to figure out your why. Because the why is not money. The why is not fame. The why is like, oh man, you know what feels good? When I feel super loose and free in an audition or a scene in my acting class. The why is never some physical reward. That's not when we feel joy. You know what I'm saying? When we do something that we don't want to do for our partner and it like makes them happy, that's when we experience joy. When I rewired my motorcycle, the electronic system, because it didn't work. There's a flaw in the system on Suzuki boulevards. So the first time I looked at the fucking schematic, I was like, I can't even understand this. The 17th time I looked at the schematic, I was like, I think I understand this one part. So cut to 3 months later, I fucking did it. You know what I'm saying, dude? And then you're riding a motorcycle, and every time you get on, you're like, I overcame something that I thought was impossible. That's the joy of it.
Dude, yes.
I could have bought a different motorcycle. But that's not what the thing is. The thing is like, God, I used to be not that great at commercial auditions, and now I did one last night. I was like, that was pretty good. I mean, if they weren't looking for somebody who looked way more indigenous Mexican, I might have a shot. I was like, that's like a bookable, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great. One thing I want to point out is like you also like seeing your progress, like, because that was like, I think the happiness and your momentum, it comes from progress, but you have to be able to see it too, right?
Yeah.
And you have to have the awareness. And I feel like that has grown for you over the years. Am I right?
Yeah. And I think the joy probably comes in living in. I remember when I was doing Miser, and I don't remember an exact moment, but I was like, oh, I'm really good at this now. So now when I would be in class working with a partner and they were kind of struggling, I was just like, God, I can do whatever I want. This feels amazing. There was just like this power, felt very powerful to be like, I get this now. And that's probably how people are when they roll with me, and they're just like, this is like rolling with a baby. You know what I'm saying? Is
Yeah.
that what we call sparring in jiu-jitsu. They're like, oh, wow, I remember, they probably remember when they used to be me, and I'm putting my arm out there, and they're grabbing it, and they're seeing all the things, living in the moment of being good,
Yeah.
you know, which you're allowed to feel right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, Tony, I think I feel like we've hit some really cool things, but somehow we're already at our spotlight sign off, which is
Oh,
5
really?
questions to end strong, my man.
Nice.
So question number 1 is, what's something you're super grateful for today?
You know what? I would say I'm really grateful for my friends and my family and the people who care about me. I think we take for granted that people are just always going to be there, and like, you know, they're not, and they don't have to be. Like, they're there because they love you and they care about you. Your friends, your family, like, you know, your mentors, your teachers. Those are the most important things in life. The rest of the stuff, fucking, I'm like so lonely right now, and I have a lot of success, and like, but you know, besides my friends and families, I have a lot of people care about me, but like, with no one to share it with, success is like fucking, you know what I mean, dude? I really truly feel that way. Being at the top of the mountain with a mansion. Look at Matthew Perry. He had everything, and it like wasn't enough.
Right.
And I don't mean to speak out of turn, but like, there's probably an element of like, what am I looking for exactly? Because you have everything that anyone could ever want, but you're looking for some high that's like a temporary thing. Like, what are you looking for exactly? And I'm looking at myself too. I do the same thing. I want to feel high all the time. Ah! You know what I mean?
I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's the awareness and that progression and the being happy in the now that you're like, that you're talking
100%.
about. You know, and I would also say that, you know, you're like, it does, if you don't have anyone to share it with, then it doesn't mean any, you know, it doesn't mean as much possibly. Cause I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there are people, you know, for example, this made me think of Adrienne Epley. You know, she just celebrated her birthday last month, and she was like, she came to her and I were talking, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go to, you know, this resort. I'm going to do it by myself. And
That's dope.
you know, and so I think there's ways, and she like loved it. It was
Sure.
incredible for her. Right. And so it's like, I think I don't know that a person necessarily solves it,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
I think it's the thing in you and how you're feeling.
Sure.
And like, just like I can't make you happy, right? Or somebody else can't make you happy. It's you have to be happy, because, you know, Candace and I could be mad at each other or not be on the same page. And actually then I feel like she's making things worse being here.
Totally,
and it'd be
yeah.
better if I was alone, you know?
Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
it can happen on both sides.
I've been a little stuck in the house because of the cats too for the last 4 months, so it's been a little harder to travel. So I think that is part of it, because, you know, I'll go to Colorado by myself. I think that is part of it. I've needed a vacation for like 4 months, and now I'm finally like, okay, I can, you know, things keep coming up and coming up and coming up. But that is also a good awareness. And my friends who are, have partners and stuff are just like, hey man, like, it's not all roses over here either, you know?
No, I mean, you know, being in a relationship definitely takes work, you know, definitely takes work and compromise.
But I guess my larger point is, you know, that aside, like, if you're thinking that someday, like when I book the series regular, there's plenty of stories from plenty of actors who, when they book their first regular 6 months in, they're like, have a nervous breakdown because they're like, I thought this was going to solve everything. I guess it's more what I'm trying to say. Because I love acting. I love going to set, even when it's like not the funnest day. But I think that's more what I'm trying to say. Like, hey, like, don't put all of your eggs in like, if I book this thing, then it'll solve everything inside of me that needs healing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely not going to. Definitely
But
not
nothing
going to.
can.
Yeah.
Besides, I guess, time. Because that's the only thing that ever works for me.
And I think you have to want to. I think a lot of people
Okay.
sometimes like to hold on to their kind of like traumas because it's what they know and it's where they're comfortable.
Okay.
You know, if you overcome it, you know, like you can always use it as an excuse. You know, if you overcome it, then that excuse is gone. Then what? You know, so I think it's not just time. Like time won't, you know, do it. You have to want to as well.
Okay, yeah. You know, I've been feeling like the last 6 months, I'm a lot less angry now than I used to be about the little things. I'm like, whatever. Like, who gives a fuck, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know. I'm just going through this transition where it's like, I have a lot of the things that a lot of people define as success, and you're like, eh. So, like, I think I'm learning to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Tony. Good job.
Only took 49 years.
Yeah. Question 2. What television show, film, or book changed the trajectory of your life?
You know what? I'm going to say something a little bit controversial. I listen to a motivational speaker. I think it's very important for actors to have someone in your ear being like, hey, dude, you can do this. This career seems impossible all of the time. Even for me, I'm just like, shit, I don't know. I'm no one's son or daughter. Like, these are the people who seem to be booking right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I listen to Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
And I used to hate Christianity. And I used to hate organized religion. Not Christianity, but just organized religion. I hated it. And one day I was stuck in traffic and I found him, and he's all I listen to now. I listen to 3 a day. And so to me,
like Joel. I
love him.
Yeah.
He's very positive. He basically is just like, hey, you need to like work on yourself. And also he's, you know, to me, it's just like Dak Shepard. I used to hate him because of the characters he played. And now you love him. I think right now we could all use a dose of like, just because someone doesn't look like you, they may actually have the solution. Maybe you can put aside the things about them that you don't love and be like, but this thing is like really good.
Yeah.
This thing gives me hope and inspiration and challenges me to grow and be better. And I used to hate like televangelists, hate them. I'd make fun of them and laugh at them. And I'm like, I found him by accident. And I'm just like,
so the Joel Osteen show.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
And I was just open-minded enough to be like, yeah, no, you gotta let the things go that like trigger some like past reaction in you, and just be like, hey, maybe they do have the solution.
Right.
Or maybe I can learn or grow from this thing that I once hated. You know, we're all, our nation is incredibly intentionally divided right now. So it's like, we gotta put aside the fact that like this person doesn't come from where I come from, and maybe they have inbred beliefs that I don't believe, but like we have to come together. We're all on the same team, whether we like it or not. We're all in this together.
Yep.
You know?
That's a good reminder to listen to some Joel. My mom likes Joel too.
I love him.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because people are like, oh, you listen to him, I hate him. I'm like, I say, have you ever listened to one message of his? No, but I just, cool. Yeah. Well, what if he's the one who's different? Because I feel like he is. So to me, you know what I mean, dude? Like,
yeah. I think people get angry at the like huge success. You know, they're like, oh, he's got too much money and this and that and that.
But they love Bill Gates, right? And Steve Jobs.
No, they probably don't like him either.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it can be like an envy thing sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
And actually, if you think about it, that could have been like where some of your like hate came from before too, even.
It came from people judging me and my life who were Christian and acting like they were better than me. And we were poor growing up, and a lot of people treated us like shit and like we weren't good enough, whether they said it out loud or not. And a lot of those people were Christian, and a lot of people, oh, well, you know, if you act like this. And meanwhile, this person is cheating on their wife, and like, you're just like, look, you know what I mean?
Well, everyone isn't, it's so easy to stereotype.
100%.
Yeah.
Because as I've grown up, I've met some like older Christian women for some reason who are just like, God, you're amazing. You're like, this is the Christianity that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just giving and loving and serving.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, yeah, and those are that's the group, and that's the people that you want to find, and you understand
Yeah.
that there's a group of those people out there, and there's a group of people not quite there.
And people talk mad shit about, oh, you're an actor. All you guys do is y'all go you're just like promiscuous and this and this and that. You're like, I mean, I'm not like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm a good person, and a lot of my friends are, and a lot of my friends are the best people I've ever met. Some of the best people I've ever met have been incredibly successful actors on set. You're just like, you're like, you know.
What's something in your daily routine that you really cherish?
Exercise.
Yeah. You had to have said that last time.
Yeah, but it's so important because sometimes you'll be in. The other day, it was a Saturday, and it was gray. It was 2 weeks ago, and it was the first gray Saturday. And my friend Emily said to me, ironically, she's like, I knew you were going to be like, oh, the weather. And it's Saturday. It's not my normal day to go. But a lot of people go to Superfly Jiu-Jitsu on Saturday, like 30, 40 people. It's a sister school of American Top Team. Shout out. It's such a good school. My coach is just like, if this isn't fun, what are we doing here? Which is honestly kind of rare for a martial arts teacher. And I went anyway. And I walked in and I saw Emily, and then I saw her son. He's about 16. He was 10 times better than me when he was 13, so forget about now. I had to be like, hey, bro, you got to slow down. You're scaring me. And he was like, Tony, it's so good to see you, and blah, blah, blah. And I always leave the gym or wherever happier, even if it's 20% happier, because you're like, I don't feel like it. I'll just do 15 minutes. You always feel better. And we're emotional creatures, and actors convince ourselves that what we're feeling is the truth instead of just a sensation. Go and exercise. Go take a walk. A lot of actors have mental health issues because we feel things so intensely. We mistake emotions for truth. Emotions aren't the truth. Emotions are how we feel. It might be the truth. Your instincts, your gut instinct might be the truth. You also might just be paranoid. You might be overthinking something. One time I thought my agent was mad at me for 2 weeks. And it was over something silly.
And Corey and Jake weren't thinking about it at all.
And then I saw Jake. He's like, oh, it's so good to see you, man. I've been so busy. In that moment, I was like, God, I've been stressing for 2 weeks about nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About nothing. So I think it's really important to, like, as actors, as artists, we got to be like, cool, what do I need to do to make myself feel balanced today? Maybe it's take a day off, but it's probably talk to your therapist, hang out with friends, accomplish something around the house. Never feel worse after cleaning. Never.
No.
Never.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I literally at the Virtual Actor Summit, I talk about how we can create energy. And one of the things, one of the exercises, I'm like, everybody pay attention to how you feel right now in this moment. Now go clean something in your house. Quick, you got 90 seconds. Go clean something quick. And now come back. Do you feel better? You always feel better.
You know what's crazy too, and a hack that I just learned, you probably already do this. I learned from a therapist I started doing it on my own. He's like, that's what I tell my patients to do. Turn on one song and go in the kitchen and be like, I'm going to clean as fast as I can. I guarantee you can unload the dishes and reload the dishes before that song is over. We're stressing about something that's going to take 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't done the like, I'm going to play the song. Let me get as much done as I can. But I like that. That's good. Because it's like, that's so easy to fucking do.
You know what else he says? He says, I'm going to go clean the garage for 2 minutes and set a timer. Because he's like, starting is the biggest obstacle. I'm going to sit down and write my scene for 2 minutes. You start writing, you're like, well, now I'm kind of into it.
Right, yeah.
So it gets you over that hump of I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I wanted to add that as another hack where it's like, you don't not want to do it. You'll make it fun,
and
but like.
You'll feel, you're never, the thing that you've been thinking about doing that you want to do, you're not going to be upset about doing. You're not going to be
Go
like,
research new headshots for 60, set a timer on your phone.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. What's something you're currently trying to improve in your life right now?
Man, I'm looking for, I'm trying to find joy again. Because I had it for a long time. You know me. Tony, where are you? I'm at the beach. I'm in Colorado. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm really trying to foster joy again in my life. Because it's been missing a little bit. And I think it's the universe, to get you to a new level, sometimes says, we're going to tighten the screws a little bit Because otherwise we'd be like all lifeguards and chilling out, drinking Bud Light. Be like, oh, this is good enough for me. But the universe makes you not love as much the things that you previously loved to grow, I think. Even if your relationship or whatever. And I don't mean you don't love your partner as much. You're like, well, why isn't this as fun anymore? Maybe I need to schedule some more date nights. Maybe I need to do more for them. I feel like the universe to get you to the next level is like, I'm going to make your acting class not as fun anymore. I'm going to make it not as fun to be like, you had the best scene in class, to get you to the next level. So I'm trying to find the joy again in my life to where I'm like, yeah, that's good. I'm happy.
Well, I think I love that you brought it up, because I think you being here, being on this show, being vulnerable like you have been and bringing it up, it just means that that's going to begin to happen for you.
Yeah. I think when the unexamined life is not worth living, as they say. And I think it's weird because you're like, I don't understand, because 2 years ago I felt awesome and now I don't feel like that anymore. But I think, again, the universe does that to make you grow, because then you're like, oh, well, I started doing this and now I'm feel even more happy. I need to volunteer more. I don't volunteer enough.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Even though I did teach a volunteer class at the library the other day, an acting class, and I felt great afterwards and I felt super fulfilled. You know,
What happened with the senior citizen people we introduced you to?
she never got back to me.
Did you follow up? Like follow up till they say
maybe
yes.
I will. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. Yeah. I've been honestly working on other things since then.
Yeah, you're like, I ain't got time.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, last question. We've gone over a lot of cool stuff in this conversation, and if you wanted the listeners to get something for sure, and maybe it's something we talked about or something that we haven't talked about, what would you really want them to get?
Two things. A, like, you need to work on your mental health. Like, it was like between 60 and 80% of all suicides are men, because men don't talk about their feelings. So when you're an actor and you're an artist and all of a sudden you feel all these big feelings, you're like, oh, well, I must just be crazy. No one's talking about it. So be careful. Your emotions can be overwhelming. My cousin killed himself because I'm sure he got to 50 and he was just like, what's the point of all this? I feel like I figured it out, but I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't think we're supposed to be happy all the time. I think we're supposed to be. And the other thing is, women, please take a self-defense workshop. Learn how to defend yourself. Every time I comment this on Instagram, women are like, no, but guys need to act better. Yes, you're right. You're right. Guys are fucking pieces of shit. What are you going to do about it? Do you know what I'm saying? You can be a victim, or you can be like, this isn't my fault, but this is my responsibility. Please take self-defense classes. Learn how to fight. So when some dude is inappropriate, you just say, oh, my lucky day. I know 10 women who have a guy like attack them. They'd be like, cool, let's go. Let me put it this way. I have to tell the women at my jiu-jitsu class, I'm like, hey, can you please, you're scaring me. You need to slow down a little bit. You're going to hurt me.
Well, awesome, man. Well, Tony DeMil, thank you so much for coming back on the show and being open and being vulnerable.
Well, thanks for having me. Honestly, I feel honored that you invited me for the first time and the second time.
Dude, I mean, you know, you're so great, and I feel like you're such a, you know, so much of the community knows you, and I think like looks up to you in some form or fashion. So of course, got to have you on here, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I will say, just because you said that, well, that's when it gets hard. Is when everybody's looking up to you, but you got to figure it out, right? You made it. And you're like, well, how come I don't feel happy? How come I don't feel like I've made it? And then you're like, well, what does it mean to make it?
Right.
So sometimes it's even harder when people are like, wow, Jesse, Get Scene, wow, you must be sick. I mean, today I'm kind of having a hard day.
Yeah,
you know
there's all those types of days. You're absolutely right.
Can I just finish on one note?
Yeah.
What's up with your biceps, bro? They're huge. I'm envious of your biceps, bro. I got to start injecting some collagen.
I blame Candace.
How are you guys getting better looking as you get older?
Candace is just obsessed with it. That's what it is.
Candy is 40% more beautiful than when I first met her now. If not 60.
Dude.
And she was already beautiful.
Dude, she's figured it out. You know, like age backwards or get older, get hotter. I don't know what
100%.
I don't know what she's doing. But yeah, so she's, you know, the biceps are here because, you know, Candace is walking around this house.
You know
And
what's
I'm like,
funny?
but geez, I got to do something too.
Every time I tell you how, to your credit, and what good shape you're in, you put the focus on candy.
Oh.
Every single time. That's really nice.
Well, it's her. Oh, all right.
See what I mean? Just did it again.
Well, it is her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. Maverick's here to say goodbye.
Maverick.
Oh,
What a
boy.
good guy.
All right. Tony,
Maverick.
we love you, man.
Love you guys,
thanks
too.
so much for being here. We'll see you soon. Everyone, thanks for watching. Look, I got Maverick here. Subscribe, damn it. Subscribe. Maverick, say subscribe.
Rub-ribe. Rub-ribe.